Hello there. This is Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks. And tonight I'm going to be finishing a very exciting series. No, it is not a thriller. No, it is not a mystery. It is about clearing a guilty conscience.
What did one do to have the guilty conscience?
Indeed, the final step and a word to us all, and that's what this show is about. But before we get to that, I would like to introduce you to sweet baby James, who is going to introduce you to our show.
Yes, indeedy. Welcome to Granny Rocks Our World, otherwise known as Growth, where Granny will once again rock us with her uncommon sense, her wit, and her wisdom.
Rock us and put us to sleep, right?
That's right. And so, stay with us. We're on every Wednesday and Monday, this being Wednesday, and then next Monday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. So stay with us, and hopefully you can join our discussion afterward at 7 o'clock on a video conference.
Yes.
Okay.
Or make your comments, because I will reply to them either now if you're live or later. Not if you're dead, but if you're later. And Bob said, hey, Beth and James. So, hey, Bob. Glad to see you. Okay. So this is my third show on having a guilty conscience. The first one is, do we have a guilty conscience? Yeah. Personally, or our world, And people really responded to that show. I was surprised but why should I be surprised? Of course we have guilty consciences. And then in the second show, so I talked a lot about the different things that we do that are hurtful, that we have to face up to, that we don't like to face up to, that we like to rationalize. So then the next show was about why don't we want to admit that we hurt people? By the way, we're getting wonderful highs from people. So Elizabeth said, hi, Beth and James. Hi, Elizabeth. And Luann waved and sent us all kinds of warm symbols. So hello, Luann. And then Karen said, hi, Beth and James. Hi, Karen, live. That's great. And Helen is live. Hi, Beth and James. Hi, Helen. And Sherry Lee is here. She says she's here. And she has a son with sunglasses on. So good to see you all. So excited to have such a nice group already actually communicating with us. And I know there are more people online, but this is already great. So what is this third show about? So first you might want to know, why am I spending so much time talking about a guilty conscience? Well, I'll tell you why. Because there is nothing good to be said about a guilty conscience. Glenda says, hi, Beth and James. Hi, Glenda. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here and saying hi. There's nothing great about having a guilty conscience. It's bad for everybody, because either if you feel guilty, what's going to happen? Wanda says hello, and we say hello, Wanda. Oh, my God, and there's more. And Larvi says hello, all. I hope you all are well, and friends and all members of the page. Oh, yes, all the friends and members of the page. Larvi is sending his regards. So how exciting. I'm beginning to feel like we're a community, and we're talking to each other. So, see, if you feel guilty, you are either going to let yourself be abused because you feel so guilty you feel you should be punished, or you're going to get so far in denial, you have to double down and say even more stupid or horrible things, or be even more brutal to try to justify what you did before. Now, you may say, well, we don't want someone to be more brutal, but it's okay for us to let ourselves be abused. Well, it is not, and I'll tell you why it is not, because abuse is abuse, and we are one of humanity. So if abuse exists and I let myself be abused, there's just as much abuse on the planet as if I'm abusing somewhere else. You get that?
Yeah.
So you see what I mean? Abuse is abuse. Whoever is feeling it. And Jay is that a hat you've got there? Nodding his head. Oh, yay, Jay. So good to see you too. Oh, my. This is great. We're already all over the world. So it's very important that we get over the denial, because we don't want to keep being in denial. We have to face a lot of things. And this is kind of like, these shows are preparing us to face other things in future shows. And we also need to forgive ourselves and feel safe, self-love. And Todd said, hi, Beth and James, and hi, Todd. So today, as I said, last time I talked a lot about why people, good morning, grandmother, Jay says, I love it.
Good morning, good evening, good night, good afternoon.
Where he is, it's morning. Where we are, it's evening. And a lot of people are calling me grandmother. Carol says hi too. Hello, Carol. Okay, so the second show was really about why we are so afraid to admit that we have done something hurtful. And I talked a lot about our experiences as children where we punished for doing a wrong thing and all that kind of, that makes us afraid or feel shamed. But so tonight I want to take on this last piece, which is how do we clear our conscience? What do we do to make things right? So first of all, why did we hurt this other person? Did they do something to us that we've never gotten an amend for, and so we have a resentment? Or are we jealous of them? Do we feel like we need to vent our frustrations? You know, I get abused all day at work, and I come home and I beat my wife, and my wife beats the dog, and the dog beats the cat, right? Or, you know, the other way around. Ryan, hello there. He says, hi, guys. Hi, Ryan. So did we need to vent our frustrations? Were we jealous of them? Okay. And then after we start looking at why we hurt somebody, you know, we have to have compassion for ourselves. Why did we do it? Why did we do it? If we have compassion for ourselves, we are on the road to healing our relationship with them and healing our relationship with ourselves and healing our world. And boy, there's a lot about that, but I can't say everything in a few minutes. And then after we have compassion for ourselves, we have to overcome the fear of admitting to ourselves or others what we've done. And I've talked about how that's problematic. So supposing we've done all that, well, like supposing we have, how many of us actually have gone through all of that and done it? But, you know, let's hope we have. Then we need to take 2 more steps to rebalance things between us and to clear our own conscience. And Norma said, good night, sweet dreams. That sounds like you're going to sleep. No, stay awake for a few more minutes. I'm sure she didn't mean that. So the first step that we have to take is to, I said 2 more steps, but you'll see one of these steps has 2 parts. The first step is to stop doing the behavior. How do we stop doing the behavior if we don't know why we're doing it? That's when we're back to, why did I do that? You know, you can say, oh, I'm going to hold my tongue next time. I'm never going to be mean again. I'm never going to hit my child again. I'm never going to gossip again. I'm never going to, well, how?
Like so many New Year's resolutions.
Right, exactly. And how are we going to do that? So we have to really understand why we're doing it so that we can heal the reasons that we're doing it. For example, if we are being out of control because we're drunk every night, maybe we need to stop drinking. You know, you're not going to come home drunk and be a sweetie pie if you're an angry drunk. You see what I mean? And so that can lead to another why. Well, then why are you drinking? And why are you addicted? And what's going on there? So, see, it's not easy. So let's say I acted out as resentment, right? At somebody else's seeming good fortune, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm angry at you because you're so lucky and you're thin and you're good looking and all the guys are going after you, and I'm old and fat and ugly, and I'm not fat and I'm not just skinny and ugly. But anyway, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. So why do I resent them having what they have? Do I not see that they also have problems? Have I blinded myself to the reality of their lives? Or do I not see that I have good fortune also? You know what I mean? If I do, maybe I'm not going to be so angry. Oh, I'm getting loves and roses from Jay. Thank you. So now, if if, let's say, they really do have lots of good luck and I have nothing but bad luck, well, it's not likely, but let's say that's even true. Can I get over that resentment? Can I live with that inequality? And if not, why? And Jay is laughing, with tears coming out of his face. So does that remind me of something in my family? Like, was my sibling given all kinds of goodies and I wasn't, right? Like my father's love or something like that. So is there something underneath this that makes it so hard for me to live with the very thing that I'm resenting, which is causing me to be so angry, right?
Good one.
Now, supposing I start thinking about this, but I still can't get over that nasty streak that I have towards this person. Maybe they really did something to me too, and maybe I need to go and talk to them about it. But maybe or if it's just me being nasty, maybe I need to talk about that too. Maybe I need to go to them and tell them, I resent you because you're so lucky. You have this and this and this and this. And then they start to talk to you and you find out what's going on in their lives that you never knew. And maybe all of a sudden you start to feel connected to them. And so it's like you don't want to hurt them anymore because you actually feel them and what's going on in their lives. Or you find out that they're just selfish and stupid. And well, what can I say? But anyway, at least you started the conversation. You know what I mean? And when you do that, maybe you find out that they envy you too. Maybe there's something about you. Maybe they think that people love you and they don't love them. Maybe they think that people love them for their looks or their money or whatever. I'm just using this example, see? So what happens in doing this is that we get more and more on the same side. And if you remember last time's, the show that we had about the solution to the guilty conscience is to start to think of when somebody makes it clear to you that you've been kind of a jerk, they're really your friend because they're helping you to see this bad behavior. So it's getting on the same side. This is really important in our world. We need to start, all of us, getting on the same side. So, okay. So now we've done that. Let's say we've done that. All right, those were the two. All right, I got it straight now. 1 and 2, and now there's 2. But now there's a third thing that I have to do, which is I need to make restitution. Now, some of you aren't familiar with the word restitution. So that means like make up for something. Like, oh, supposing you baked this beautiful cake and I came in and I put my fist through it. Well, I got to go bake a cake and give it to you, right? That is restitution. I am giving back to you something that I've taken from you. It's a form of making amends. And you know what it is on a deeper level is I am trying to return you or help you to return to a state of wholeness that you were, whatever state of wholeness you had before I came along. So
what do you give to a person if you've hurt their feelings?
Well, you give them the feeling of love and value that you've stolen from them. Okay. And that's a very important thing because you can hurt people on a physical level, on a material level, on an emotional level, on a spiritual level. So we need to help people become whole. Some things we'll never be able to fix. Let's say, I was driving the car and I just looked down for a second and I hit this old lady who was walking across the road and didn't know what she was doing. And I'll never be able to fix her. She's broken. And, she may heal a little bit. So there's a lot of things, guys, on emotional levels, on spiritual levels, on, physical and on material levels that we can never fix. And, oh, my God, I'm going to get to that kind of in the end. But you do the best you can. So the first thing that you can do is make a verbal amend. Now, I have a book called Living with Reality. This book is on my website, bethgreen.org, BETHGREEN, bethgreen.org. On the home page, that's the first page, you'll see you can download this book for free. And in this book, which is very long, it's all about how we're going to shift human consciousness. There's something called Platform 7 and becoming accountable. And I talk at length about how to make amends. So I can't do that here because I have
You also have it listed as a tool in the index in the back of the book.
Very good point. The back of the book, I've got all this. It's a very long book. It's very detailed. It's a great self-study or something that you can do in a group. And we even have a discussion group about it, free on Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 in the morning Pacific time. So that's live. I don't know what time it is where you are. So anyway, if you want to join that discussion group, that's great. I will not be there, but this is other people using the book as a way of evolving. And
two of whom trained with you, and they're guiding the group.
Yes, there are people in the group who they've all been with me.
Yes, yes.
So anyway, I give you, but here's the basic idea. When you make an amend, a verbal amend, you say, I realize now, first of all, you have to feel compassion for yourself. And then you say, I realize now that I put my fist through the cake you had worked on all day. And that my purpose was to make you feel hopeless about your life. Let's see. Okay. And how that hurt you, and by the way, I don't believe in cake. You shouldn't eat sugar. This is a terrible example. So then you see, Helen said, I think it's 8:45 to 9:30. Richard told me, I think it was Lizzie told me it was 9 to 10. Well, Helen maybe is right. And I'm going to leave you the email address of the person who is going to be the liaison to that. So thank you. I don't know which it is now, 8:45 to 9:30 or 9 to 10. But anyway, please contact Richard. So you say, and how that hurt you is that it made you feel hopeless because you're disabled and it took such effort for you to do this, or you made this cake to show your love for someone and it took away that pleasure or whatever it is. And then with compassion for yourself, you say, and even though I couldn't do any better at the time, I need to ask you to forgive me. Will you forgive me? Erica just said, thank you. The amends process you've offered in the Living with Reality book is powerful and restorative. Thank
really
you
is.
for saying
Thank
that.
You.
Oh, Elizabeth said, I'm on that call and it's between 9 and 10 a.m. So it is between 9 and 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's like California, Oregon, and I don't know where else
Washington,
in the world.
Yeah.
There's other places that it's also convenient. So I go into great depth about how to make an amends, and I'm just rushing through this right now because I have other points that I have to make. Anyway, now let's say I have spoken to you and I've made a sincere amend, and you say, well, screw you. I don't forgive you. Well, if you don't forgive me, you don't forgive me. That's on your head, right? I'm going to feel better because I made amends. But
you cleaned up your side of the street.
But sometimes the reason that the other person can't forgive you is that you've missed something really big. Supposing it is that, let's go back to the cake, which I don't believe in, is that I am envious of your creativity in the kitchen, and I tried to destroy you by smashing your cake. See, if that is the case, and I didn't acknowledge that, then you will not feel the amends as deeply as if I really figure out what it is. So now if I'm talking to you and you say, I just don't feel it, maybe together we can figure it out. Guess what? We're back on the same side, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
There you go.
So, oh my. If you have made the right amends and the person still hasn't forgiven you, well, then they have some work to do. Now, oh my God, I need to talk more, and we're theoretically out of time, but I'm going to talk more. All right. This is as true. This is really important because restitution is an attempt to bring someone back to the state of wholeness they were in before you did what you did. Or sometimes even better, right? That would even be better. societies do this as well as individuals. And we need to make amends as a society, and we need to make restitution. We have hurt other classes, other races, other religions, other genders, other gender identifications, other nations, all kinds of people with disabilities. You know, we have hurt all kinds of people. And as a society, my town against your town, my country against your country, within our countries, within the world. And the big one that we're doing today is we're contributing mightily to climate change, which is hurting people all over the world. And we need to do something about that. And we need to do more than just say, gee, I'm sorry that we went over 1.5 degrees centigrade. We are like on our way to 2. And it's like, no, we have to do something about it. We need to try to help people. In fact,
try to restore the planet.
Exactly. You know, that's the damage we've done to the planet and the damage we've done to people. You know, we have friends here on this Facebook page who live in India, who live in Bangladesh, who live in Nepal, who are facing incredible flooding, which has been exacerbated by climate change. You know, and those people are real. You know, and another thing that we've done is, for instance, in Central America, now I'm talking about Americans, but it's not just Americans who have created the problems of climate change. You know, so many nations have contributed to climate change, and we all owe restitution to the earth and to the animal kingdom and to one another. And Muhammad says, hi, Muhammad. So, for instance, in the U.S. today, we're so busy trying to stop immigrants. Linda said truth. Thank you, Linda. That we have so many people coming in as immigrants, and we say, well, how dare they? What's wrong with them? Why don't they go home? Well, you know something? There are 2 reasons that there are, well, even more, that there are so many migrants from Central America. One is we screwed up their societies. We invaded them. We colonized them. We did, you know, economic colonization. We disrupted their economic and social systems, and we thought we owned them and we had a right. And, you know, that's not a good thing. You know, that can disrupt you. And then we use drugs, and that has exacerbated gang violence in all of these nations. And now we're saying, well, we don't want them. And we've contributed mightily to climate change. And people are leaving because they're desperate. We have climate migrants. And so it's like, so what are we going to do? You know, first we need to stop doing the behaviors. It's the same thing that I said about the individual is true of the society. We've got to stop damaging our planet. We've got to take our heads out of our asses. We have to look at it, and we have to see how we can help our planet and people around the world to come back to some state of wholeness. And we're not going to do that if we are either feeling guilty and can't face it and go hide, or if we are feeling justified and we don't want to face it and are trying to rationalize it. So I am so disgusted about the conversations we're having about migration that almost never talk about why these people are coming. And this is people from Southeast Asia. They're going to go someplace. People from North Africa, they're going to go someplace. You know, the Western world that has been the source of much of the pollution, but not all of it, is going to be faced with the consequences of our behavior. And we don't like that. And many other nations, we're all going to have to face this. So I'm going to have to close, really, because I've gone way over time. And I so appreciate the loves and the likes and the smiles and everything that you're sending to me right now. And I want you to share this program. Even if people don't watch the first 2, I think they'll get the gist. Sometimes we cannot make others whole again. As I said, the old lady who gets crushed by the car may never recover. And maybe our planet will not ever go back to the way it was before we screwed it up. But we can take accountability. We can try. We can start taking steps. We can become conscious instead of hiding from the truth. And if we make amends and try to make restitution, we can at least help people to feel emotionally and spiritually whole again, because their pain will have been acknowledged, and the love and kindness that are emanating from us, as well as our humility, will help them to become whole. So thank you so much for watching this program. Please share it, like it. People need to hear this message, and come back again on Monday for our next grow, when I will be starting something else. But I'm not going to tell you what, because I don't know yet. Linda said, one love. We need to have hope and try. Yes, Linda, I agree 100%. And Amy says, thank you. Thank you, Amy. You know, we've got to expand this conversation. I don't want to see any more about how Trump is such a racist because he said to them, go back to where you come from. I mean, okay, granted, I know that's true. But let's talk about the real things, right? Let's talk about what's underneath all of this, and let's try to solve our problems instead of put one another down and try to win brownie points with God. Linda says, thank you, 100. Mwah, mwah.
And also Elizabeth.
Oh, and Elizabeth said, thank you. I think I said thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
And come back.
Yes, come back.
Granny Rocks. And tomorrow night we're doing Dreams of Peace, where I play the piano to try to bring soothing. Now, tonight I'm riling us up, and tomorrow I'm going to try to calm us down. But we all need love, and we all need hope, and we all need healing. And I hope that Dreams of Peace, where I play the piano, that's Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific time.
Right here at the Facebook page.
Because we need peace inside in order for us to face the truth about ourselves. Linda says yes, and that's how we will close. A big yes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.